right. Live, and then let me pull up the screen here once we get rolling.
Cool.
All right, let's do it. How you doing, Mike?
I'm great. I'm caffeinated. Not getting a lot of sleep due to the baby, but it's been awesome. So
love it, dude. I love it. That's awesome. That's awesome. I am also caffeinated. I'm back to back. You and I jumped on for our team call at 3:30, and I'm back to back till 8:30 tonight. So you got a long one today.
yep.
Both of us actually. So
Tuesdays.
I love it, man. So let's get into it because I know we got to jump for the mastermind in like 15 minutes. So this one's going to be Spitfire, how to start your short-term rental business, right? And there's a lot of different angles that we could take this, but I want to keep it nice and tight and actionable for somebody that's just looking to get started, whether they're going to buy property, whether they're going to co-host property, whether they're going to do rental arbitrage, whatever. Time management and where you focus your time and energy is going to be super crucial. So I know you were putting some notes together for this one. So why don't we rock through those and then we can go back and forth a little bit and provide some additional feedback.
Yeah, for sure. So when I started this business, I was I'm still working in a typical 9-to-5 corporate job. So that's going to be the main focus of what my points are. But looking back, and people ask me constantly, like how do you do it? I don't have enough time in my 9-to-5, outside of my 9-to-5 to start a new business. How do you do it? And it comes back to just getting very clear on time and then where you're spending your time, how you're blocking your time, who you're spending your time with. So the biggest things for me were time blocking the day, like on the calendar. Those of you that have desk jobs can do that. Those of you that have actual physical labor jobs, you can schedule in time, whether that's morning or night. I did that. I know you did that, Mike, when you first started too. It was every morning, it was listening to podcasts and reaching out to somebody. And every night it was following up or going to a, REI meetup in Nashville. So when I set up these time blocks from 7:30 to 8:30, now it's 7 to 9. That time is specifically for setting my goals for each day. So I've got my bigger goals that I set, and we've talked about that on Mindset Monday. We talked about on this Mike and Mike with Tuesdays, but just getting very clear on, all right, my goal is to hit 10K a month in short-term rental cash flow, passive cash flow per month. So that's my main goal. That's what I know is my main goal. So what do I need to do? What are my daily tasks? What do I need to do today? What is the most important thing I need to do today? And what are the 3 most important things I need to do today? And that's what I focus that hour and a half on. And then whatever that topic is, let's say it's analyzing a deal. Like I'll go on YouTube and watch 2 or 3 different videos on how people analyze deals. And then I'll do it myself. In that hour and a half, I get very, very clear on my main purpose for the day. Because what I did kind of at the beginning and even before I started this business is I would write out just long ass checklists, just checklists of tasks I need to do today. And it would feel good. Like I would check the boxes. I'd probably get like 60% done, 70% done. If I got 100% done, like that was a good day. But then I would take those tasks and I would move it to the next day. And then I move it to the next day, the ones that I didn't get done. So instead of writing a big long checklist, I would spend an hour and a half getting very focused on the top 3 things I needed to do. And that's all I did. I turned my phone notifications off. I turned my email off. I wouldn't look at my email, but focused on, for an hour and a half, the top 3 things. And that's what made the biggest difference. And then also, I have a planner. Back when I first started, I didn't use a planner. I have a daily planner now that I schedule my days almost to the hour. And I write it down too. So I have it in my calendar, in my Google Calendar, and also have it in my planner. I do it for an hour and a half, but really it only takes like 10 minutes to organize your day. So those of you that don't have, a ton of time in the morning or a ton of time in the evening, it really only takes 10 minutes to get very clear on what you're going to do for that day or for the next day. And find a routine that works. Like I was at the beginning, I started waking up at 5:30, going to work out, then doing my journaling and stuff like that. And then I felt disconnected with my wife because that was our morning time. So find what works for you. It could be 9 o'clock at night. It could be 4 o'clock in the morning, like some other people do. Like find what works. And also check in during the day. Like if you have a lunch break, check in with your top 3 things that you need to do. And then, so that's the first point, like become kind of obsessed with time awareness. The second point that I wrote down is find somebody who's already done this and just steal their systems. Like it's not that difficult, especially with the amount of content that's out there. Find somebody, and you may have to pay them, whatever that is, but find somebody who's already done it, pay them. Let's say it's $5,000 or $10,000, and your goal is to hit $10,000 a month. If you invested $10,000 for something that'll pay you $120,000 every 12 months, like that's a no-brainer for the systems that are already there. So it's just retraining your mind to think, all right, if I really, really want to hit $120,000 a year, which only 2% of Airbnb hosts do that, then the fastest way to do that is by investing my time, but also investing my money in systems that are proven, already done. And that's the ultimate shortcut. So it's, one, being time obsessed and aware, calendar blocking, and then 2, just finding someone who's already done it, investing in that, and taking action on what they tell you to do. So
that's the key to everything, man. I've said it over and over and over again, right? Like when I started this business, I got really clear on, okay, I need to make, it was either 12 or 15,000 a month was my target to get myself and my wife out. That was the target, right? And then, like you said, like I went to YouTube, I read as much as I could. I tried to narrow down, like, all right, who are people that are operating at that level? And then I paid them for their programs, and I went through, and some of them were good, some of them were not so good. But like at the end of the day, I was learning no matter what. And then after that, I just kind of put together my own little system that worked for me based on the knowledge that I gathered from a bunch of different people and different programs that I had been through. And then I was off to the races. But that drastically shortened the learning curve for me. Like when I got into it, there were no like high level like masterminds that like we have now, like through STR Secrets, that like step by step, like everything that you need to do. A lot of them were on like different topics or different things. So I was like getting little bites and pieces from a lot of different places, or a lot of people were just focused on rental arbitrage, which I didn't do. I wanted to focus on co-hosting. So it was just navigating some of those nuances, but it drastically shortened the learning curve. I did that with this business. I've done it with other businesses. I got a commercial photography business that still runs to today. I haven't taken a picture in years, but I have a team that does it for me because I learned how to build it the right way. And I just did it with golf. Like I was sharing earlier, maybe yesterday, right? Like I set a goal at the beginning of the summer. I want to break 90. My first round of the year, I shot 117. So I had a lot of work to do, right? I haven't played consistently in a long time. So what do? I set my goal. I surround myself with people that are playing at that level. So I join a country club with a lot of really good golfers. I start golfing with them regularly. Then I go to the pro at the club and I'm like, hey, this is my goal. Tell me what I need to do. And I took lessons. I did all the drills. I did all the work week after week after week. And it took me about 3 months, but boom, I broke 90 last week, right? Like it's the same process. I don't care if it's business. I don't care if it's relationships. I don't care if it's sports, whatever it is, it's the same process. And it just drastically cuts down the learning curve. Like there's no question. So when you're already tight on time, when you're working a 9 to 5, don't use the excuse, I don't have time. That's BS. You have to make the time. When I started this, I was working 60 hours a week at my corporate job. I had a side hustle as a photographer before I really had a business going. And my kid was sick in the hospital. So like I had almost no time, but I made it a must in that 30 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes at lunch, 30 minutes at night. It's an hour and a half a day. What's that, like 9 hours a week or something like that? Like it adds up. and you do that week after week after week, it compounds. But if you're wasting that time on things that aren't moving the needle, or you're trying to do the whole DIY thing and YouTube it all yourself, it's going to take you a lot longer. So if you want to get it done faster, follow that process and then focus on the things that are actually going to move the needle. Like, okay, I need an LLC. Okay, cool. Pick a quick name for my company. It doesn't matter. You can always have a DBA, doing business as, and call yourself whatever you want later. Get the LLC set up, get your business bank account set up, come up with a name for your company, and go out and start prospecting. Like once you're educated, then it's all about prospecting. I need leads, right? You don't need some crazy fancy website. You don't need beautiful business cards. You don't need all this other stuff that isn't going to move the needle. You need to go out and meet people. Tell them what you do. I talked about it last week or 2 weeks ago about watching Grant Cardone on that show, Undercover Billionaire or something like that, where he had to go out and like build $1 million business in 90 days. First thing he does is he goes around town and just figures out who are the players in town. He's like, I need to meet people. I need to figure out who the players in town. The whole show, you watch it all the way through. He's all just networking. Who's got my money? Who's got my money? Who's got my money? And he's just trying to add value to people that have money that he could get from them, basically. And that's all that you need to do. You just need to get comfortable putting yourself out there. But if you don't know what you're talking about at the beginning, then you need to get educated first and then go on the prospecting route, right? You don't need to worry about what fancy systems am I going to use? What's this crazy tech stack? What types of locks? All that is irrelevant until you have a deal. You don't need to know that information yet. Focus on what is the next move I need to make? Where do I get the information to make that move? Execute, and then go to the next and the next and the next and the next. That's all you have to do. You have to be fiercely protective of your time and fiercely efficient with your time. If you want to get out of your 9 to 5, which 9 to 5, maybe some people have that. A lot of people are like, dude, I'm working 10, 12 hours a day. I hear you. Like I was there. So you got to be extra deliberate with your time. Like cancel your Netflix, cancel everything else. Like you don't have time for that stuff. If this is what you want to do, like just get serious, and the fruits and the freedom will come after you've built it. But you have to put in the time now to get to that point. It's not just going to get handed to you. Just because you buy a course or whatever you spend on a mentor doesn't mean it's just going to magically happen. It's like, okay, cool. Now I know what to do and how to do it. Now I got to go execute on that. So you have to go out there and actually put in the work, but you got to be vicious with your time.
Yeah. Yeah. Looking at your calendar too and saying, all right, is this meeting worth my time? Is this meeting worth 30 minutes of my time? Is this meeting worth an hour of my time? Can it be shrunk down to 15 minutes? Can it be shrunk down to 5 minutes? Can it be shrunk down to a text or an email? Can it be shrunk down to a chat if your company has that? So it's really looking with a fine tooth comb at every single meeting and every single conversation that you have, like how efficient can you make it? When I started implementing this calendar blocking and some of these systems to my business for the short-term rental business, because I knew I wanted to do it, my 9 to 5 business, I got way more efficient with it, and my results started to go up. It's funny how that works that way. But if you can really like look at each meeting and say, all right, what is my main purpose in this job? What is my main purpose in this business? How am I driving towards my main purpose with this meeting? Can this meeting go down from 15 minutes to 5 minutes, or a chat, or just a quick call? So it's really looking at your time, protecting it very, very well. I spent a lot of time doing happy hours. I spent a lot of time doing partner calls, if other people in tech sales know that. I really got rid of a lot of that. I probably do 10 a week. Now I do maybe 2. And I focus really heavily on the top 2 that are producing me the most sales. So
100%.
One last little hack. If you guys don't have a Calendly, get one. Calendly is a fantastic time scheduling tool. You can actually send a block on your calendar to people that you want to connect with. So if you want to connect with an investor, you want to connect with somebody at work, you want to connect with really anybody to get time on your calendar, send them your Calendly link, and it mitigates the, hey, do you have time on Thursday? Oh, I don't have time. Can you do Friday? All right, how about 1:30? And also, if your boss needs you or something like that, just send them the calendar link and be like, here, this is easy. Book time on my calendar. And it just makes it so much more efficient. I feel like before I started doing this, 60-70% of the meetings that are on my calendar could have been taken in 5 minutes, or just taken off the calendar completely. And that's what I've done, and started blocking on the calendar. It's just way more efficient. So
100%. So get very protective of your time, be super efficient with your time, get clear on what your outcome is, find somebody that's done it, and just follow their plan. So if you're just getting started, if you're starting to scale, sign up. I'm just going to post a link here in the chat. Tomorrow, Mike and I are doing a webinar at 1:00 Eastern time. Okay. Sign up. If you miss it, I'll make sure that you get the recording. But this is a way to be hyper focused, where we're going to show you exactly how to launch, automate, and scale a short-term rental business in about an hour and 15 minutes. So like, how do I identify good markets? How do I find the properties? How do I get into this business even if I don't have any money? What type of technology do I need to use to automate this so that I don't give myself another job? We're going to break it all down in about an hour and 15 minutes tomorrow. So this is one of those times that you want to be hyper focused. You want to get a lot done in a short period of time. Like, here's exactly what you need to do, spelled out for you step by step in an hour and 15 minutes. So we only do these about once a month because, again, we're both very protective of our time, but this is a way for us to consolidate all this information, a lot of the stuff that we're teaching you guys on these Mindset Mondays and Tuesdays with Mike and Mike, into a hour and 15 minute format that's very step by step by step by step by step, that's easy for you to follow. So sign up, register at that link, block out that hour and 15 minutes on your calendar, bring a pen and a paper. You're going to take a lot of notes. We're going to go fairly quick because we got a lot of material to cover, but be ready to take notes. I promise you, this is not going to be some high fluff like pitch fest. No, we're going to give you actionable content that you're going to want to write down to go out and start moving your business forward. And then we'll go from there. All right. So tomorrow, 1:00 Eastern Standard, we're calling it the STR Secrets Live Workshop. Mike and I are going to be on there. We're going to break all this stuff down in detail to show you exactly what you need to do to launch, automate, and scale a short-term rental business. Mike, anything else you want to wrap up here before we kick over to the mastermind call?
No, just hop on that webinar tomorrow. We'll see you there.
Awesome. Appreciate you, buddy. Everybody, see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Enjoy your night. And we'll see you soon.